Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
The Ticket Water Cooler.
Typically, you kind of think of Nebraska as far as in-state recruiting as might not get the skill position players, but you can pepper in some offensive linemen and maybe a linebacker here and there. This class is led by in-state skill position players now. I mean, you're thinking down the line, you could 3 or 4 years from now have Daniel Kalen lining up with Davon Holland, Isaiah McMorris, and now Carter Nelson. Those are all your skill positions.
Keeping the highly talented, highly ranked players that are in the state with you at the home state school is a step in the right direction.
Live from the 93.7 The Ticket studios in the heart of Lincoln, America, this is Lloyds in Lincoln with former Syracuse Orange and Long Beach State basketball star Ramel Lloyd Sr. and current Nebraska basketball athlete Ramel Lloyd Jr. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Ramel Sr. and Ramel Jr.
That's right. Welcome to it. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all those streams available for you. I'm the one non-Lloyd in the building, Austin Norman, with you here running the show, behind the scenes. Got the two gentlemen in studio as always. It's been a minute, guys. How we doing?
Hey, what's up, Austin? We missed you, buddy.
Thanks for coming back, not skipping out, even though it's me and not Harrison this morning. What's been up? Camp went well at the end of June.
Yeah. Camp went really well. We talked about it a little bit last week or the show before, and we was thanking everyone who helped us out with that. It was a real community effort to make sure that the kids got a great experience, from playing ball, from the guys that came in and talked to them, from the food that they was able to eat, and just the camaraderie. So it was a great week, a week of 3 weeks.
Right.
Camp. Yeah.
What's that like 3 weeks of a camp? Because I think, a few days here and there, but 3 weeks at a time.
That's tough, because normally you wouldn't do a camp for 3 weeks, right? A basketball camp. But we started this thing a little late. We had some other plans that we wanted to do, but we ended up making it all basketball. And what was weird about this one is that the kids never got tired of playing. Even me, when I was young, at some point, the basketball camp, you get a little burnt out. But I think, they did other things, they just had fun. They was there with their friends, and, so it wasn't just all basketball for them, but it was good. It was good for the community.
That's awesome. Mel, for you going through it, as a freshman coming into campus, you get to fall camp. Did you ever have any of that burnout at all? Get tired of it?
Yeah. I mean, not getting tired of basketball, but just getting tired of just so much playing, and it's on your body, really. I was sore, I was tired just coming into it. So it's a whole nother level from high school to college, especially when it comes to weights and things like that. So it was definitely a little tiring at some point.
What was that adjustment from high school to college? What was the biggest jump?
That's definitely the biggest jump. Just the consistency of having to play hard and be in the weight room, and really just the toll on your body that college basketball brings to you, especially in the summer when you're trying to get ready for the season. So, that's one of the biggest things this year, coming in and knowing what I'm getting into, and just understanding what I got to do to take care of my body and eat healthy and do the right thing, and so I can be successful. How
important is that to have that year of experience? What did you like? How important was last year for this year for you? Yeah, definitely. I feel like I kind of like a cheat code. I kind of got the book to how it goes, and without even losing my eligibility for a year. So basically, I'm a freshman again, and just not a freshman at the same time. So it's kind of fun. Rock, as you look at what you see Junior going through, how does that compare to your days, in camp, Syracuse, Long Beach? What's changed? What's the same?
There's so many things that changed. We probably need a couple shows to talk about how much changed. It's been so long since I was
long time.
But the thing about it is that being that it was so long ago and so much has changed, the fact that I've been involved in the game from my time of playing until when I stopped playing and I started to coach, and I coached AAU at a high level. I coached high school at a high level. So I was I was going through the process of all the changes, as they were occurring. So it's not like I just was going after I played for all of this time and came back and it's like a total shock. So for me, I've been part of coaching and all of that stuff during those transitions. So it doesn't seem like a drastic change because I've been in it. But a lot has changed. Well, first of all, obviously the biggest thing is the transfer portal. And the transfer portal, not only the fact that you can get in the transfer portal and that exists, the fact that you can play right away. That's the biggest part of the transfer portal, which is considered a hurt and a help to a lot of different people. When I played and you transferred, you had to automatically sit out 1 year. You had to redshirt that year. So that changed the whole game. It did not, a lot of people didn't want to transfer because they didn't want to sit out. And if you transferred within the same conference, you had to sit out 2 years.
That's right.
So that was pretty much unheard of. No one would ever transfer in the same conference. So now these kids, they have a little bit more leeway to kind of navigate their own careers in college, which has its negatives and positives. But they can play right away, obviously, once they transfer, and they can transfer within conference, which was just literally unheard of back then.
Absolutely. 402-464-5685 if you got anything for the Lloyds. Well, DP's normally in here. He's been out in Vegas.
Man, the whole crew's out there. Who else is out there?
Not the whole crew.
Not the whole. We're here holding it down at the station.
Yeah.
Hey, Las Vegas Lloyds sound good too, don't you think? We could have did a Lloyds in Las Vegas or something for a weekend or something. The boss man left us here to hold it down, so we're happy
Lloyds
to do that.
MGM.
So it's DP's out there. He took Strick and Rico with
Strick
him.
and Rico is there. Yeah.
Jay was heated.
Yeah.
I mean, Rico's never been, so good for him. He gets to go. But
Right.
Jay was heated that Rico gets to go.
Man. I'm sitting there watching all their social media stories and stuff, and I'm like, man. But happy for them. I'm glad they're having a great time. There's so much going on in Vegas this weekend. Those guys deserve it. They work really hard here at the station. So
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas to some degree. I have a fantastic Rico story I want to share, but it's not mine. Rico's back tomorrow. So leave it to him to share.
Let him do his own thing with that. We won't get anybody in trouble.
Seriously. Summer League. We're a few weeks into that now. Anything stood out to you guys from Summer League?
Obviously, Summer League is always great because the anticipation of seeing the young guys coming in to the league and getting their first experiences on the court. And then obviously this year they have a guy who they considered a generational player, considered probably the best prospect coming out since LeBron James came out. So it's just exciting. I mean, I really, as an older guy, I feel proud of a lot of these kids. A lot of them I do know because a lot of them are in the age of Ramel now, and we've been playing against them since they were young, and I know a lot of their parents. And I'm just happy for the opportunities that they have, and look forward to probably being in that same position.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's good to see some of the guys I've been playing against since I was 9, 10 years old be able to compete at that level and do their thing. So cheering on some people and just looking forward to hopefully getting there one day.
Who are those dudes?
I mean, there's a lot of guys. I mean, the guys that were one and done were in my class. So you got guys like Keontae George, Jordan Walsh. I played against all those guys. I was on a visit with Jordan Walsh back in high school and at college. So I know a lot of the guys that are just getting in the league right now.
Yeah, well, you got to forget AB, your teammate.
Oh, my own teammate. right. My own teammate, Amari Bailey.
Forgetting about that. Yeah, young guys, Peyton Watson, who
I grew up with
in Long Beach.
But Peyton's not a rookie, though. So.
He's not a rookie, but, I mean, still excited to watch him play.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many more. I would have to look at the rosters and go through it, but it's good to see. Yeah.
Playing with Amari growing up, like you said, were you watching UCLA as he went on, watching him kind of grow into his role out there?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Yeah, watching Amari from the start of his year at UCLA to the end seemed like there was a huge jump. Or did you see that progression coming? Did you see him pop on the scene late?
Yeah, definitely. I think he just had to find his rhythm and just get used to the college game. I mean, a lot of it is about opportunity and just figuring out. A lot of guys have talent and skills. It's just figuring out where your spots are and where you're going to be successful at when you go up in levels. So I think towards the end of the year, he realized what he was going to get to and be able to be successful with. So he definitely made a huge jump.
Watching Amari, Peyton, those guys, what did you see for them in their growth and their time at UCLA?
Well, both of them had two different kind of stories, which was really weird because Peyton was on the team when they had some really, really good veterans. And that goes back to what we talked about earlier about some of the differences and changes. These guys at UCLA, they have pros at his position on the wing, older guys. We talked about that before, with more experience and being able to help coaches win right away. And Peyton was coming in as a highly touted freshman, and he didn't even play that much. And he still ended up going to the draft. He still was a first round pick, and he's still successful. So it's kind of a perfect. Peyton's story is a perfect picture of what's going on today with the contrast between NBA prospects and and college guys being successful at the college level and what their careers may look like moving forward. So that was very interesting. Amari was a little bit different because he had a little bit more opportunity to play. The roster shaped up a little bit better for him to explore some of those minutes as a younger player. And still, Amari, as talented as he was, he had to still find his rhythm. He still had to figure out the college game here a little bit, still figure out the defensive schemes, the physicality, the things that, rookies and freshmen has the biggest problems with making those jumps. And then what Ramel had talked about is opportunity, because the biggest thing is opportunity. These kids have talent. It's just a matter of how much leeway they're going to have as a freshman or a younger player to grow. So Amari had an opportunity, and then also there were some injuries on that team, some key injuries, which allowed Amari to blossom into that role a little faster, and they leaned on him a lot more. So things change. So many things can change within the college game. So two same school, two of the same caliber players, two different routes, and they're both, where they ended up where they wanted to be anyway.
Yeah, I forgot that some of the guys got hurt later on in the year. But really, too, I mean, if you look back at it, the rosters were actually pretty much the same. It was the same guys, except that Peyton had Johnny Juzang in front of him, another Cali guy. Right. So that was the biggest thing, because besides that, it was Jaime, Jalen Clark, and all those other guys.
But those guys are all in college forward type of guys, which Peyton is.
Like
Amari's more of a guard where he handled the ball more. Yeah. So it was a little different just because of the positions,
You guys being from California, I feel like maybe this is just me speaking. Please jump in, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like there's a narrative that the Cali guys like to stay home, right? The USC's, UCLA's West Coast-ish. Mm-hmm. Is that true? Or is that not true? Is it situation by situation? Where do you guys fall with that?
I definitely think so. I mean, it's hard to leave Cali when you grow up there. I mean, LA is the greatest place in the world, so it's hard to leave. But the way I looked at my recruitment, I just wanted to go where I thought was best for me, and location wasn't really such a huge thing for me. So coming to Nebraska in the Midwest was all good.
Yeah. We're gonna clarify one thing. I know I've been in Cali for a long time, but I'm.
Can I clarify?
He's
a New Yorker.
True.
He's no. My
bad.
He's a New Yorker.
Once a New Yorker, always a New Yorker.
He's a New Yorker.
Okay, that's
my
the
bad,
first
Rock.
thing. No problem, because you know what
Or to my mother.
Cali, whatever. Cali is good with me too. I'm half and half. But yeah, to your point though, and to Ramel's point, it is very common for a lot of Californian guys to want to stay home, or at least on the West Coast and close to the area. Obviously, it has a lot to do with California in itself as a state, but also I think that's just regional. When you go around the region, people want to stay closer to home to have the support of their family members and so on and so forth. And then a lot of it is also when guys leave from California and they experience the different climates and weather changes in different parts of the country. A lot of those guys in Cali has never even been in snow and been in cold weather and things of that nature. So I think along with all of the freshman things that happens to you when you be a freshman, as far as adjustments and getting along with, get team, all the stuff we always talk about, a big factor is just style of living, right? Mm-hmm. And the conditions and the snow and the different type of buildings, the different type of traffic, all of those things. I think sometimes Cali kids get a little homesick a little easier than most.
I haven't actually visited California for any extended period of time, but I can see how that would happen.
Yeah, exactly. But back to Ramel's point, college these days, you first of all, you have to definitely be comfortable where you're living at in college, because a lot of the on-court stuff obviously is always there. Most of these universities have great facilities now, the opportunity for them to play and top conferences and be on TV and exposure. It's kind of everywhere now, right? So the biggest thing with Cali kids is, I would think of like anyone else, they need to try to make sure they find the best fit for their opportunity to get better, to play, and be successful. So don't get caught up with the weather. So you can always go back home when you need to.
It's cool to see too, not that, Lincoln, Omaha are huge basketball hotbeds, but to see the Los Angeles guys stick together, the Seattle, pro-am that Jamal Crawford puts on, the New York City, St. Louis, all these areas, even if they do go their separate places, it's awesome to see those guys go back to their roots, to that area, and team up for events and stuff like that.
Sure. For sure. I agree.
What city's the best? Are you taking LA? Are you taking New York City? Anyone else competing?
Like, basketball wise?
Yeah, basketball wise.
It's tough. It just depends on the year, I feel like. But the consensus, like places that always have the top guys, I would say is Cali, New York / Jersey, I guess. But New York, really. Florida, like I don't know what part of Florida, but just Florida. And then I'm gonna go Texas. Texas got some really good guys too. I think those 4 places are probably where you get the most at once.
Well, yeah, you came to the old man. I'm gonna break this whole thing down.
Give it to us.
You know, I always got a story about something. I never could just answer the question straight up.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you some things that happened over the years. There's 2 major things. Well, one thing is the internet. All right, now I'm gonna get into this. The internet, and also the popularity of the basketball, and the fact that guys were starting to get hurt playing football. The concerns that media start to bring about football. So the first thing is that New York City is the mecca of basketball, and it always has been, and it probably always will be. Even if it's not a fact that you're comparing numbers as far as coming out, it's just what it is, right? Yeah. That's just what people want to call it. It's going to be the mecca of basketball. When I talked about the internet, when I was growing up, there was no internet, right? So at the end of the day, the top players in the country, we all heard of each other, right? We all know the name. We're reading magazines. We're like, okay, but you don't know who that person is. You don't know how they play. You don't know what their style is. When I went into a gym in my day, I can go into a gym and look at teams, and I can tell exactly what part of the country they're from just by the style of play that they had and about how they dressed and how they act, how they talk. The internet has changed that because everyone now is able to see styles. They're able to see styles of play. Everything is for your view. So I know who the guys in Texas are because I see them on TV all the time or the internet. I know what style of play they are. They play with, because typically it was like West Coast was jump shots, the southern region of the country, they were athletes, and the skills level came from the northern east. That was what kind of broke down.
Northern East?
Yeah, Northeast, I'm sorry. Like, New York, Boston, like
skill.
Yeah, skill set. That I'm talking about my day.
Oh, okay. Long time
like
ago.
Straight basketball.
Oh, okay.
Right? Now California guys were skilled, but they were soft.
The West Coast is skilled.
The West Coast is very skilled and soft. Let's even break it down a little further. Ball handling, street game type of.
When I say
vibe,
I think skill, I mean like shooting.
Okay, so
fundamentals.
Cali's
I'm not
always
talking
had
about
that.
dribbling.
Right, Cali's had that. I got that a million times. But the thing is this though, but Cali was known to be soft. That was what it was because they played different style and they played more of a skill.
The jump shooting,
yeah. We didn't shoot jump shots because we grew up playing outside, so you couldn't shoot outside. You had to know how to get to the basket and so on and so forth. Texas and Florida and those states were known completely for football. Right? Sure. It was known completely for football. You had guys from Florida that came out in my day because Florida was always known for athletes. I mean, those guys can jump out the gym, and you always get a couple of ballers from Florida. But Florida, Georgia, Texas, all of those places were football places at the time.
I did forget about Georgia.
Yeah, those are all football. Alabama, all of that. So what happened was, obviously the sport has grown so much in popularity that a lot of people are starting to play more and are playing more, and it became more popular, I would think, almost in football down in the South. So another thing is geographically, California and Texas are the 2 biggest states in the country.
Right.
Okay, so no matter what kind of census we're doing, there's going to be more people from those 2 states and whatever you're trying to judge, right? Okay. Especially when you talk about New York City. New York City is tiny compared to the whole state of California and the whole state of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But I mean, even just guys from LA alone, like you don't even have to say the whole state of California. You can just say,
I'm not taking away from that.
You can just say LA.
Yeah, I got you. I'm just
have all the whole catalog of.
No, I agree. But the whole question was like where the best players coming from, and what I'm trying to break down is that the change and why people are coming from different places and all over the place.
No, you broke it down. Right. You broke it down.
Yeah, I broke it.
With that New York handle.
So
What was that?
Dribbled a million times.
Yeah,
broke
Pass
his
the
neck.
rock.
Yeah.
Sham
I get it. And
God.
I didn't even play like that. So
Yeah, because he just
okay.
wanted to score. He wasn't trying to dribble.
Right. I didn't play that way. So, but I got the best of both worlds because I grew up playing in New York against, especially during my time, the best players in the country. It was hands down, wasn't close. It wasn't even a competition in my era of where the best basketball players came from.
That's true.
And in the early 90s and late 90s. California was always up there too, of course, because it was, they had some great players too. But at the end of the day, the question basically was where the best players come from. And I say it's hard to judge now because of all those different factors.
DP would be very disappointed in me if I didn't stick up for his DMV.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I call
areas,
that that's Northeast. That's what I call it,
Sure,
Northeast.
okay.
Yeah, that's part of that whole
Gotcha.
area to me.
Okay. DP would just want that mentioned separately, so just trying to keep Boss Man happy.
I think he's all right. He's probably at a buffet at the Win right now or something. So
let me pull up his Twitter real quick because
I think he'd be okay.
I'm just amazed Rico is still alive. Like I thought that little dude's head was gonna blow up out of excitement.
Rico's our guy.
But he's with pros, right? We have DP been around the block. We got Strick, who handles it. So he went with a good crew. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he's still excited though. I see it swear. Every couple minutes he got a new picture up.
I gotta get on Twitter. I didn't even see it.
Yeah, they doing their thing out there. I mean, you got the summer league, you got the UFC stuff, and wasn't there a fight this weekend too? A boxing match in Vegas as well.
Who?
You the boxing guy.
I know. That's what I'm asking.
You're a boxing guy.
I'm a huge boxing guy.
Ooh, okay.
Let me see. I saw it on Twitter somewhere. But...
Well, I know you have Spence Crawford coming up at the end of the month.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. They're gonna be out of country.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be flying while the fight's going on. I'm gonna find a way to watch it on that plane.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be watching that one.
You're pulling for Bud, right? You're Nebraska guys now.
Yes, we're pulling for Bud.
I'm not so much of a boxing guy. I enjoy it, but not like him.
I do love Spence though, but I got to be a Nebraska guy right now. Let's go, Bud.
Perfect answer. Let's take our first break of the show. We'll be back with the Lloyds after this.
Yes,
Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Vegas.
Vegas?
We just got the estimate from the wedding caterer, and we're going to have to elope.
Actually, Members Owned Credit Union is offering no-fee home equity lines of credit. We can borrow what we need with equity from the house.
Wait, so we can keep the bacon-wrapped dates for the cocktail hour?
We can keep the bacon-wrapped dates. From wedding bells to trekking the globe and everything in between, capture your dreams your way with a no-fee Members Owned Credit Union home equity line of credit. Learn more at membersownedheloc.org. Limitations may apply. Equal housing lender.
Allo is turning 20 this year, and we plan to celebrate all year long. Since 2003, Allo has vowed to put customers first and deliver a drastically different experience. No matter where you live, work, or play, we believe you deserve an affordable, secure, and reliable connection. We're proud to have served our businesses and residents with seriously fast fiber optic service for 2 decades. Thank you for trusting Allo as your local internet, phone, and TV provider. Follow us on social media to know about the 20th anniversary celebrations in all our Allo communities.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
Spring is here, and it's time to wake up Judson. Judson Irrigation is eager and ready to get your sprinkler system up and running for the season. Judson's technicians will check for winter damage, adjust your sprinkler heads, and show you how to set your controller for effective sprinkling coverage. The Judson Irrigation team is here for you. Stay safe.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate. Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Sometimes playing with a healthy fear is good because it makes you go, hunt it out. Because the more tentative you are, I always told kids, I said, listen, if you don't like this and you don't want to play, don't play. Because you're going to be worse off and get probably hurt more by being tentative in your play as opposed to playing all out.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You're listening to Lloyds in Lincoln with your hosts, Ramel Lloyd Sr. and Ramel Lloyd Jr.
Let's get it. Segment 2 here, Lloyds in Lincoln. I'm Boss Norman, joined by the Lloyds, Senior on my right, Junior on the left. We were talking about Summer League, and Mel, one of your teammates playing in Summer League, Sam Griesel up in Boston. Cool opportunity for him.
Definitely. I definitely took a look, and he's doing what he always does, being an all-around guy. Really good floor game he had the other day, so I'm proud of him.
That's awesome. Teammates with a guy that played at Nebraska for a couple of years, and Delano Banton. Thought he was going to get the first triple-double in school history. Didn't, but that's all right. And then some other Huskers, Bryson Trey McGowan's in there, and then Isaiah Roby, too. Roby's the one that I was a little surprised to see, given that he's been in the league that long, but that's, of course, not necessarily how Summer League goes, I guess.
Not anymore, at least. Yeah, not anymore. But.
Yeah, a lot of guys just do it, even if they have contracts, just to stay in shape or just get ready for the season. I mean, you've seen Champagne from the Spurs. He just got, a 4-year deal, and he's out there playing like he's trying to get a contract. So
yeah, I mean, there's two levels because some people are trying to. Okay, there's 3 different levels. I got to break it down again.
At the rim, mid-range.
Yeah, right. I got to break it down again. There's some guys on the roster just to be on the roster so they can create a great overseas opportunity for them. Whether they play or not, their name being on the NBA roster is going to warrant attention from overseas and can boost their contract. Then there's guys that have an opportunity to make the team, the actual team, and they're playing for a roster spot for either the team that they're playing for or showcasing for everyone else that's in there. And then there's guys that's already on contract, and they're playing to show their dominance in the Summer League to earn minutes on the main team. So that's kind of how the Summer League teams are broke down.
That was a quick little breakdown. That was nice.
That wasn't. I didn't take too long. That wasn't bad.
That was a good one.
I didn't go as long as I usually do.
So
yeah, I wasn't going to say it on air, but definitely pause. Definitely.
The Summer League mindset is one that I think would be hard to get over, right? For guys that are, fighting for that opportunity, either it's 4 minutes to dominate, it's for the roster spot, or it's even, like you said, overseas. I feel like that mindset would be hard to get into and out of if you're the wrong type of player, right? Just buckets, me. That's got to be tough, where maybe your game isn't getting buckets. Maybe you have been a role guy. I don't feel bad for guys because they're in the NBA, they're playing in summer league, but those guys that are just glue guys that fill the cracks in, I feel like you got to really trust the scout's eye, right? To trust you're doing the right thing.
No, definitely. Settings like that are definitely difficult. I mean, I wouldn't compare it to like going to camps or anything like that, because obviously it's still an NBA coach is coaching you and you guys still get some practice. But if you're a type of guy that needs a structured team setting where you're doing certain things for the team to show what you do, and you're on a summer league team and it's kind of like more of guys just kind of doing their own thing and showing off their skills outside of the team, it is kind of difficult to show like what you can do. But I mean, I think for the guys like that, I think you just go out there and play hard and do what you do anyways. You know, I think scouts notice that type of player anyways, regardless of if they're scoring or not. So, Dad, what you think?
Yeah, a couple different things. My advice to any young player is always just do what you do well. Be yourself, right? I wouldn't go out and try to show them something that you can't do. That's what a lot of guys have an issue with doing. Like if you have a reputation of coming out of college and say you didn't shoot the ball as well, right? You shot it at low 3-point percentage, but you were a monster going to the basket and your 2-point field goal was great, and you get fouled a lot and things. Just keep doing that. Right? Don't go out there and try to show them something that you didn't do well, right? You want to get yourself in a position where you can show how good you are at what you do, get an opportunity to move forward with that team or organization, and then work on those things that you had as weaknesses. So, but back to your point though, yeah, it's really hard to play in that situation because there's more to it than just basketball. You also have a lot of summer league teams are completely built for their first round guys, and they're developing and their development. So they're there to make sure that those guys get the opportunities, the shots they need, and so on and so forth. So if you're coming in as a free agent, or whatever the case may be, it's difficult for you to kind of do your job when the team is based for the young guys to perform and get their experience.
Hearing that message from your dad, did he push that on you growing up? Do what you do well?
Yeah, always. I mean, settings like that, I grew up with the ball in my hands, so settings like camps and things like that, it was kind of made a little bit for my game, I would say, because I'll be able to create for myself and others. But I know it's just definitely difficult for guys that rely on other people to create for them. So, but growing up, it wasn't too bad for me.
Oh yeah. Big difference between AAU camp and then going into an NBA camp. We had a whole different set of rules. Maybe I'll share our set of rules that you have for AAU camps when you're young, when you're trying to get
AAU camps,
recognition.
Not gonna lie.
The first one is never take the ball out of bounds.
Don't take the ball out of bounds. Never.
That's the first one, right? If you have the ball in your hand, you have to make a play. You can't pass it up unless somebody's going to get a layup and you're going to get your assist. Or you're creating to make either a shot for yourself or a shot for a teammate, but not just a regular pass and then out. Because if you at that time, right, you pass the ball up, so you're never touching it.
You're not getting it back. Yeah, you gotta kind of in those camp settings. If you're trying to show out, you gotta put your dominance on your team early. First, it's really you gotta fight it. You gotta play against your team first.
Right.
So the first thing is you play against the team. They gonna know that when I get this rock, I'm shooting it or doing something with it.
Yeah.
They gonna have to respect that the whole camp.
Yeah, you gotta.
So that's the first part, and then you just gotta play well. And sometimes playing like that against your own team too, it doesn't help your case of playing well for yourself.
No.
Because you're so focused on trying to get off and not really playing the team game because no one else is, then you kind of you start acting out of character too. So it's tough, but
because we had different philosophies when it came to our team game and how I'm teaching him to play and how he plays normally. That's not how he plays.
But if you don't have that mindset, you're not gonna get the ball.
You're not gonna ever touch it.
So it's either I'm going 0 for 20 or I'm not touching the ball at all.
Right.
So
you gotta just live with the results.
I'm rather go 0 for 20 than not touch the ball.
But NBA camps obviously is different because a different level of most of the guys on summer league teams anyway that are not contract guys are coming in as role players, and regardless of how talented they are. That's why we see in the game that a lot of guys seem to be more talented. And you'd be like, why isn't this guy in the league? Or why? It's probably because what they do best is score the ball, or what they do best is what, they have the ball in their hand. And at the end of the day, going into the league, a lot of times, no matter how talented you are, they're already paying somebody hundreds of $1 millions to do what you do best.
Right.
So you're not going to come in with that opportunity to shoot the ball. You could shoot it better than that person. It doesn't matter. They paying them $100-something $1 million. That's who's going to get those shots. So a lot of times we see guys in the NBA that just are outstanding at their role, and they find a niche, right, to get into the league, and then they succeed from there.
Stars in their role.
Stars in their role. And what the average fan doesn't understand and see is that most stars in their roles were stars before they became a star in their role. Yeah. Everybody in the league was a dude at some point. There's not many guys in the league that got all the way there just because of their role play. At some point in their career, they had to be a guy.
That is true. I have been seeing, though, a lot of guys that were in college playing a certain role that actually have gone to league recently. I think there's been more guys that played a role in college that actually went up to the next level.
Yeah.
And just played the same role without having to be a guy in college necessarily.
Yeah, I see that.
Like, even this year's draft, you got Jalen Clark, who wasn't necessarily a role guy in college, but he was a defender, wing, athletic, and he did a little bit of everything. And it wasn't like he was just out there shooting shots.
Yeah.
And then you got Chase Audige, who, he averaged about 14 points a game, I believe, something like that. But he was still a defender,
steals leader.
Right.
Yeah,
right. He was
sure.
a defender. Whatever.
But that's still rare though. So, for guys to do that.
Yeah, it's still rare. I'm just saying there's
Still
more
rare.
you're saying, I think, now, because NBA is looking for those guys to come in and be a Draymond Green and be a Grant Williams or be a defender, or
a 3D guy.
Right, exactly.
That's where all of the length and everything else come in, because they figure if they can get a 6'6" to 6'10" guy, and that guy can defend multiple positions, he can hit the open three and play great defense, run the floor, that he's perfect to sit him next to a superstar that's going to have the ball in his hands. So there's all kind of jobs in the league. You just got to find your fit and your niche.
That's just the thing. What's it been like for you as you approach the second offseason, right? You've had your freshman year to learn, grow. What's that process been like of finding your role with a kind of new batch of teammates this year?
Yeah, Coach has a plan and vision for me, and I just try to execute that at the highest level. I'll be playing at the guard, obviously, and have the ball in my hands a lot of times, and just making plays for myself and others will be my role. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to be doing. So we'll see. We start Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
We start Monday really playing and doing things like that. So, looking forward to carving out a good role for myself.
You mentioned that you had the ball in your hands a lot growing up, right? And tall, lanky as you are, I think back in the day you might have been a wing, right? Played a lot of three, and I'm sure you still have. But you said you're going to be a guard, right? So, Rock, as you see that, he's going to have the ball in his hands handling it. How important was it for him to get those fundamentals of dribbling, just careful ball handling down from the get-go?
Let me get this one. I'm going to get this one before Rock. So, actually, growing up, I've always played point guard. So, growing up, I've always played the point since I was a little kid. Dad put the ball in my hands and said, "You're gonna be a point." I was always really tall, but obviously Pops is about 6'4", 6'5". My mom's not very tall, so he knew that I wasn't gonna be some 6'9", 6'10" guy. So from day one, I had the ball in my hands. I wound up getting pretty tall early. I was about 6'5" in middle school, and I was still playing the point. And as the levels grew, as I got older, I continued to play the points at that size, and sometimes playing with other good guys at my position that were smaller than me, I would have to get pushed over a little bit to the 2 or the 3. But growing up, to this day, I still play the point. So the only reason why I got pushed as more of a wing at sometimes was because of how I had to play due to my other teammates being smaller guys that were also very good at the position.
Yeah, that quite sums it up. It's, people are always saying that he has to make a transition from the wing to the one, and it's just opposite.
Yeah, it's opposite.
Which is funny to us. That people always say that and think that. But his transition was actually opposite, because he was brought up as a point guard. He had a pass first mentality always as a young kid.
Except for AAU camps, apparently.
Except for
AAU camps.
Camps. Not AAU basketball, but camps.
Camps.
So you have to do what you got to do.
You asked about me. They know I wasn't swinging that shit.
So, but yeah, that's so playing a PG is nothing new to what we're used to. I mean, it's just that the fact that he did grow to be 6'6" and very long and lanky. So at the end of the day, his versatility is key because moving forward, and especially in the game now where they're trying to go to positionless basketball and everyone does a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I think Romel's value is extremely high, that he's had the opportunity to play all of these different positions as he's come up. So he's very comfortable at the 1, 2, and the small 3 if needed. He can guard all positions 1 through 3, and sometimes even 4, depending on the size. And he can play all of those positions as well. So
exactly, I think I'm just a basketball player, just a straight basketball player, and I can do everything and succeed at any position. So looking forward to doing that.
Yeah.
And that's awesome because I think we hear so many stories of guys who, grow early, right? They get big early and they never get those fundamentals down. They're not dribbling. Their coaches just stick them underneath the basket. Hey, you're tall, throw it off the backboard till it goes in. But the reverse, I'm going to say that's how you got to college, right? For learning those skills early, not just the physical skills too, but having the mentality of a point guard to know where everyone else is on the court, direct the traffic like that. You got to go both ways.
Right. That's thanks to my dad, though. Any random father that doesn't understand the game and would even look at me and say, because I was huge as a little kid. So if my dad didn't play basketball and understand how it works and what I needed to do, I would probably be a center right now, a 6'6" center. Looking for it. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? But yeah.
No, we never allow him to play what they essentially call bully ball, just because he was more advanced at size and more physical and more athletic than he was than the average person he was playing against at that age. Like I didn't allow him to do that. I had him at the point. He had to play the right way. He had to pass when people were open. He had to use his pull-up jump shot. I don't care if the center was a foot smaller than him. If that was the right shot, that's what I made. That's how we made him play, and he was able to grow up playing that way. And it's obviously it's gonna pan out, and everybody will see real soon.
We're all excited. I can tell you that much.
Yeah,
was it ever hard to not play bully ball? Right, you're that much bigger. Is it hard to consistently do things the right way as a young kid growing up?
Yeah, it was hard sometimes when I was playing my own age, but a lot of times I would play up anyways, and I really wouldn't be able to. So through middle school, I was playing up at the highest level possible and grades above. So that bully ball stuff was not going to work.
Right. And that's part of making sure that your kids have opportunity to play at a higher physical level as well, and also understanding they should be playing at their own age as well to continue to develop the confidence that they need to develop. And just be able to have the creativity also that they wouldn't be able to have at an older age. But you need to play against older kids as well, so you can understand the physicality, how to play against size, against length, so you start learn those things early. Like people are always wondering, like some of these really small guards, and you'd be like, wow, he's really good. How do you get that shot off him? Well, he's been small his whole life. So he's been playing that way his whole life. So it's a lot of times being smaller in this game is an advantage because there's no one else down there with you. So if you're constantly growing up and playing and you're doing bully ball constantly, and we call them high school buckets. Like we watch high school kids and we evaluate them and we say, well, he had 30, but 23 of them were high school buckets is what we call them. And then that kind of how does that game translate over to the next level? Because you can't do half your points are eliminated because you can't even do that at the next level. So just back to the point, playing with older people will make you figure out how to get your shot off and, not be the best, not be the strongest on the court at all times, and, understanding how to play the game at angles and things of that nature.
Learn some of those problem solving skills, creativity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love your point too. It's not either your age or up. It's both.
It should
right?
be both. It should be a little bit of both. I would recommend that to people.
Right. To the point where, not getting burned out, not sick and tired of basketball, but sprinkle in experience both ways, because you can have the best of both worlds. It's all out there.
Yeah, no, definitely. Even if you don't even play games against older guys, even if you just practice with a team that's older and you continue to play your age group, but you just got to have a sense of playing against older people, because at the end of the day, what happens is that most athleticism, size, strength, and all that levels out at some point as the guys get older, right? And then it becomes a skills thing. You know, when you're young, Ramel got his first college offer in the 7th grade at UNLV. He was starting to dunk then and, be more physical. And at that age, if you see a young kid dunking and getting that kind of attention, you say, wow, he's going to be great. But then as time goes by, you notice everybody can dunk at, by the time you get to 9th, 10th grade, like no one cares about a dunk
Wait,
anymore,
you can't
right?
dunk?
It's almost like you should be able to dunk. So
those were the days.
Yeah, you got to continue to your skill set is the most important aspect of the game because all of the athleticism and size, it levels out at some point. So that's important. That's important for young hoopers out there.
Last thing this segment, Mel, do you remember your first dunk?
I don't remember the exact first dunk. I remember my first body though.
Oh yeah.
First
okay. Same thing. Tell us about it.
My first in-game dunk, I dunked on somebody. I don't know how I did it. I don't know because I wasn't even dunking consistently yet.
Yeah.
I was having a good game. We were at this place called The Map in Orange County, my favorite gym ever. A lot of championships there. I'm like, I might be top 5 all time in that gym. I can't lie. But we're on the break. Some kid was kind of like on the side of me, kind of. I took a dribble and I just rose up. He jumped straight up with me and I dunked on him. I was very
what grade
confused.
was that?
I think that was in 7th grade.
Yeah, 6th, 7th grade, going into 7th grade. Yeah, it was really weird because he definitely wasn't dunking consistently yet, and he was just starting to dunk, and then all of a sudden he dunks on the kid in the game. I'm like,
yeah, we were all confused. Like
everybody was confused.
Like nobody. It was really weird.
Is that my kid?
Because nobody reacted to it. Like I didn't react. I kind of just kind of ran back. Like I was acting like I've done that before. I was capping, and everybody else was just looking at me like, what in the world just happened?
Yeah, so it was weird, but it was pretty cool. I was coaching at the time, so I was always super hard on Ramel as a coach. So I wouldn't react to anything he done well. He did well anyway. So I just kind of had to turn my head away from the crowd, and I had to smile at that one.
Wait,
I was actually.
Do you remember? Like, did we talk about that afterwards?
Yeah,
like,
afterward it was like, yo, what the, what was that? And nobody in the gym said anything. They just kind of was just like looking because it was weird. It was weird. Good times though.
That's awesome. I hope there's video out there somewhere. I hope someone got it.
Somebody definitely got it, but we was up by about 30. They wasn't giving that up.
Yeah,
because it was a good, like they were a good team too. So it was like a matchup supposedly when they got smacked. So they wasn't happy about that.
We had a lot of issues when we was young with grown parents and stuff hating my kid. We always had one of the top teams in the area. So kids on my team always had a lot of recognition, not just Ramel, but just the whole team. The whole team.
We had a monster team.
Were really good. Like I guess from 4th all the way through 8th grade, we probably was the best team on the West Coast for years. And that grew a lot of hate and jealousy for people around.
Hate you because they ain't you.
I think we got to go on break.
Is it break time? I'm sorry, or something.
We got to go on break.
Yeah,
break time.
We'll take a break. Yep. We'll be back. Wrap up next.
We over here chatting.
Y'all feeling lucky? Luke Combs here, and I have an exclusive opportunity for you to win $500,000 by joining me in the Living Lucky with Luke Combs Lottery Experience. When it rains, it pours for lucky fans and lottery players who enter to win a chance of a lifetime. Join me in Nashville for a private concert at the iconic Ryman Auditorium in 2024. One lucky winner will have the chance to walk away with $500,000 at the end of the show.
Details at nelottery.com. Living Lucky with Luke Combs ticket top prize odds 1 in 128,000.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
The days of internet contracts and heavy fine print are over. It's time to experience hassle-free service with no contracts or hidden fees. That's the Allo promise. Allo Communications provides fiber internet, TV, and phone services with fair and no-nonsense pricing. all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, 24/7 local support 365 days a year, and a monthly bill you can count on. Don't settle for gimmicks. Settle for hassle-free with Allo. Visit us at allopfiber.com/hassle-free.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I surfaces. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call. Often, Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or sell your car, you want to make it as easy as possible. That user that works hard, you don't have to. Go and call your they pride themselves on working hard and making your life while you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121.
Babe, pack your bags. We're going to Vegas.
Vegas?
We just got the estimate from the wedding caterer, and we're going to have to elope.
Actually, Members Owned Credit Union is offering no-fee home equity lines of credit. We can borrow what we need with equity from house.
Wait, so we can bacon wrap dates for the cocktail hour?
We can keep the bacon wrap dates. From wedding bells to trekking the globe and everything in between, capture your dreams your way with a no-fee Members Owned Credit Union home equity line of credit. Learn more at membersownedheloc.org. Limitations may apply. Equal housing lender.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for bone or traditional at a price that makes the whole. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Where does the term dog pop? So where does dog pile come from?
Well, that's a good question.
And that is a standard.
That's a good question.
If you say dog pile to anyone, they know it. That's not dog pile. Never seen a pile of dogs. Never in my life.
I want to know where that comes from.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning. You're listening to Lloyds and Lincoln with your hosts, Ramel Lloyd Sr. and Ramel Lloyd Jr.
One Lloyd for me. Rock, you were talking about you 2 of 13, but 8 rebounds, 5 blocks, 9 points.
Yeah. I was, we talked about it a little bit earlier about how exciting everybody wants to see the kid play. And he didn't probably have the performance that he expected to or wanted to, but that's just the first summer league game. I think the kid is going to be phenomenal. A couple things happened. Obviously, he's a big, first of all, right? The game is not even designed for bigs anymore to really get off, especially where he plays. So I think he's just trying to figure out what his role is on that team, and getting the ball in the right spots. They don't know his role. You still got other people trying to make the team and not worrying about making sure he's good. So like what I saw him at the top of the key a lot. He's setting screening roles. He just didn't look comfortable in what his role was, or understanding where he needed to get off at. Every time he tried to go, he's facing up, he's handling. Then there's 2 people on both wings kind of just sitting there, and the defense is sitting there. I didn't see him have any space to do anything that he needed to do to play the way he needed to play. He's not a traditional big, so they was trying to use him as a traditional big screen and roll or just post up. And I think he's just I loved his ball handling when he was trying to do a little, started to do some counter moves before he even started to just do his regular move. He's 7, whatever, with a nice touch. The first thing in the post is catch, turn around and shoot. Right? That nobody's going to stop that. Now
they can't get a hand up.
There's no need to, pump fake this way, step back, just turn around and shoot over them, right? Get your rhythm going, make a couple shots. And if they make an adjustment, now you can go into your counters. But what I did like about him is that his fluidity at his size, he was able to get where he wanted to go on the court basically when there was space. And I like the way he moved. Obviously, he has to get a little stronger. And those jump shots will fall. If he hit 2 or 3 of those jump shots earlier, we'll be talking about a different game.
Well, he said the biggest thing afterwards was the conditioning, right? Hadn't played in a while. Season was over.
Absolutely.
My take on it, I got like 3 things to say. I had in my mind just now thinking, and now I kind of forgot about them, but we're going to try to win.
That was quick.
Yeah, I already forgot. But I was going to say, I think I was going to agree with you that he definitely had no space to work. I mean, we were watching the game live, and I'm just seeing 3 guys right next to him, and he's already 7'5", so he needs all the space in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So they really weren't trying to – they were really trying to help him out with that. And then also, I really liked how Wemby, even after the game, he didn't play great. I think he knew that, but I just loved his demeanor and how he went about it. He acknowledged that he hasn't, hasn't been in conditioning and hasn't been a part of the team. And he even said, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I really feel like just that mindset, and he understands that he needs to learn and figure out what is going on. So I think once he figures it out, I mean, he was nervous too. I mean, I think he got that first game out the way. You had to talk about the fluidity and what the things he can do. Once he gets the nervousness and understands what he needs to do, I think it's a whole nother story.
Oh yeah. He's special.
Like, yeah, I mean,
he's special. There's no doubt about it.
7'5" dude moving like that is unreal. I mean, we've seen it too. I mean, versus G League Ignite. Way back when they played against Scoot. I mean, he was 37.
Dominant.
It was ridiculous.
He was on his own team. He knew he was getting the ball. He knew the comfort level.
It's like we said, it's all about opportunity, comfortness. At any level, no matter who you are, comfortable. Like even LeBron lost his confidence at one point, and you see how that went. So.
How we get back to LeBron? No matter what we talk about,
every show we got to do it.
You're gonna hear LeBron from this kid. Every show. Do you see LeCole? You see CYB?
No, because I'm saying like in 2011, LeBron lost his confidence, and you see what happened.
Well, yeah, he had a tough series against Dallas. I think that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Kind of had a little meltdown.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter who you are. Like it can happen to anyone. You can be nervous. Something can happen. You just won't be yourself, no matter who you are, or how good you are.
Yeah.
Camp starts tomorrow. Is that right? Before you head overseas.
Yeah, final practices before we head overseas. So probably going to really, go hard.
And start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh,
tomorrow.
Wow.
So final practices. We're in the gym all week. Looking forward to going overseas. Getting my feet wet a little bit and just having some fun with my guys. So looking forward to it.
Back out on the court playing games.
Yes, sir.
We're excited.
Yes,
Enjoy the final practices, fellas. Thanks as always for coming in. We'll do it next week.
Yeah. Shout out to Austin. Hold it down. Great job.
Sweet. Appreciate you guys. It's been Lloyds and Lincoln. We got the Breeze with Toss to Breezy coming up next.
Ski.